Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me on another of my little ditties. It's lovely to have you here. Now I'm going to do my video and then hot-foot it off to Biggleswick Farm, where Julia and I are doing a little bit of farming. And I want to tell you about something that we intend to grow, which may be of interest to you. But before I get to that, I was sent this rather interesting book, and this is the main subject of my video today. One of the things mentioned in it. The book is called Taken for a Ride, Fear on the Front Page, the Game of Control Behind It. And it's a fascinating insight, really, to how we are being controlled. And mostly, we don't know. It's all for our convenience, you see. We all know how we are being controlled, for example, on the roads. They don't want us on the roads, do they? So one of the things they do, and I can't believe this is purely just incompetence, but one of the things is they'll set up these temporary lights. We've seen this, and cones. And you drive up and you say, oh, blooming temporary lights, you wait there. And then as you pass the area of work, it's only cones. There's no machinery, there's no people, there's nothing. It's just cones blocked off an area that at some point somebody somewhere will turn up and do something, but not perhaps for a couple of weeks. And so these traffic organisation companies are sort of hot to get the cones out. Well, if you ask me, if that happens, I'd be very tempted to go, well, look, you're just clogging up the arteries of Britain doing this. Move the cones to the side and the traffic lights, and stop buggering us about. When the workmen come, they can easily put the cones back out and the lights on, but we don't need to be stopping and starting. Anyway, that to me is just a very low level of control on the vehicles. But the interesting story on the front of this, it says in this book, so I'll show you the cover there. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can get that a bit more close up. Let's see. So there you can see a picture. Now bear that picture in mind, because it says here the censored cover. The front cover you see is not the cover I designed, says the author Andrew Aldridge. The original showed a surreal control room, a miniature railway of hospital cots rolling steadily on rails. In each cot lay a baby. As the train passed, a doctor reached down with a glowing chip, while a nurse held a tiny hand steady. The cots then slid beneath the scanner arc, blue lights flickering as each life was entered into the system. Beyond the observation window stood two characters, a pig in Stasi uniform, cap rigid, clipboard ready, and beside him a fat cat in a striped suit, human body with a cat's head, grinning at the spectacle. That was the image I created, but it was never allowed to be uploaded. The AI system refused it as unsuitable, a breach of their code, blind to satire or intent. What you now see is, when you turn the page, is an altered version of it. The babies have been removed, the procedure sanitized, edited only to pass the algorithmic scrutiny. And that is the irony, of course, is this is a book talking about various things and way we've been censored and controlled and what have you, and even the book itself is being controlled and censored. And the other image that was there is just there. I don't know if that will focus or not, who knows. But anyway, it's a great book, and I would recommend it. I assume it's available in all good bookshops, etc., etc. Taken for a Ride. And because he says, you know, that he was uploading the text, and the text was, or the pictures, which I think are all AI generated. Personally, I'm not a great fan of AI generated pictures. They look too slick, if you see what I mean. I don't believe that they were drawn, but they may be. There's no credit, as I can see, to the text design and illustrations. It does say it's Andrew, so maybe he did draw them. If you did draw them, Andrew, then they're brilliant. If you didn't, then I don't know what. But I stand to be corrected there. But it's very easy these days to just go to AI and go digga digga dum chink. And I met a lady who said that she was an artist, But basically she put in 3 words into AI and out came an image, and she called herself an artist. And I'm a bit suspicious of whether that's really artistic. I can't even speak, it doesn't matter. The point I wanted to make was that Biggleswick, my book, I went to an independent printers. I designed it all. They gave me the proof. There was no censorship involved. When you take back responsibility for yourselves, when you do things for yourself and you don't rely on these other big platforms, then you don't have to worry about that censorship. You can say what's on your mind. Now, of course, you could say, but Richard, you're just sitting there on YouTube. That's a big platform. And that's very true. It is. And this is the problem that we have, that we've all kind of gone to an internet within an internet. I mean, the internet is there, and we could just hire a server or build a server, have a web page and put all our content in and try and get people to go to it. But of course, the clever people thought, no, if we set up Facebook, or if we set up YouTube, or we set up Instagram and we make that a very popular platform, we'll get people to go and put their content on it for free, and then we'll have terms and conditions and say what you can and what you can't say, which is fair enough. It's their platform. I get that. Excuse me. However, if you want to really be free, in the end, it does seem to me that we are, like my book, Biggleswick, we have to go and do it independently. You won't find Biggleswick on Amazon, for example. Only people who watch my channel will have that opportunity to buy the book. Yes, it means I won't get so many sales, but it means that Amazon or any other online platform do not have that book on their platform to edit, change, to censor, to say, no, you can't do this, or to not push it. It's down to me to say, Biggleswick, the town that wouldn't comply, is available. And if you do want a copy, by the way, just email me, richard@vobes.com. If you're expecting a version of it coming to you soon, it will come. If you've ordered one and paid for it, etc., I'm off to the post office at some point today after I've been to the land. So they are coming, but it's kind of so busy with this, that and the other, and trying to get to the post office these days is not so easy, as anybody who goes to the post office at this time when people are doing parcels for Christmas will know. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that we want to grow something, and again, you know, this is a sort of controversial subject, hemp. And people say, oh, well, you can't grow that because people will think you're growing wicked weed or you're doing this. Hemp is such an amazing product or an amazing natural plant, and it was used in so many different ways. You know, in the old days, you could get rope from it, you can make bricks from it, you can make medicinal tinctures and potions and lotions from it. It's such an amazing thing. And we don't see it. Now, I interviewed a couple of people over the last couple of years on my main channel, this channel, about hemp. But, and of course, the rewards would be great if we were to all embrace it. But we know that it's people are looking down on it. Authority figures don't like people having something which is so beneficial. Of course, anything beneficial we know is suddenly taken away from us. Look what they've done to tobacco, for example. It's made to be. So, you know, basically the rule is whatever the authorities tell us is bad for us, we know it could be good for us. Now, we mentioned the Indoka company, and I've got some information about those because this is quite a fascinating thing, and this is why I'm getting behind them. I don't often promote other companies, but this is interesting. So let me just tell you this, some notes here. Indoka has grown hemp for over 15 years, and they live 100% off-grid. That's their ethos, you see, and that appeals to me. Was the first company in the world to produce hemp extracts and call it CBD. Perhaps you didn't know that, I didn't, and provide it online. It started as a small clinic and then created an organic natural medicine to heal people and show that you can break free from the system. They do everything from the seed to the final product and to make very potent concentrates. They used compressed air, not chemicals, in the extraction process. And besides hemp products, they make mushroom extracts and real organic vitamins, 100% organic cosmetics as well. So that's a kind of an introduction to the firm and who they are and what they are. And of course, I put the link in the description. You can find out more about their products. But I want to get behind something, a worthy company to help promote, especially over here in Britain. I think they're already on the continent quite well known, but here in Britain, because again, it's one of those products that there's a lot of suspicion about, and people have got the wrong end of the stick. And of course, mainstream media, authority are telling you one story, and yet the truth is something else. But you may disagree, it may not be your thing, and that's absolutely fine. No one's pushing it down your throat, but I just thought I would introduce that to you. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I will see you then. Bye for now.